If you guys, good afternoon. If you guys haven't signed in, just go ahead and sign in. There's a packet. It's a big packet because all of the items are tabling and so if you don't need a packet, just go ahead and do it. Then we need 25 to start into 3, 4, 5, 6.
Leave your Mustang outside. I hope they have dinner for us.
Ainda família, linda, Laudamana Kirchen Propagonis. Zonkosi Father's Day as me, Nancy, Azera and Lincoln Chinala, Ora Nata. Father, Portugal, coming up and sleep. So, Carlos Inda, Chico, Miragem Jungle, Portugal, a Odeia. As zonas que não juntam, as outras, a Gabriel, a orquestra. Alguma consideração da elevada para a convenção pouco é rica se dotar de energia e compara a cidade que não atinge escandagem nós ainda eu sei Cinco cabeças, cinco cabeças, Unzana and Kayama, Ari Aura, Okapana, Nura, Another Chapter, Karo, Anashi Aura, and our was Podemos cantar a Malaysia, a Anda, Esse base Scrooge 증가하고 있습니다. 대신 나왔다. Immunization, if we get rain, oh my, it's going to be nice. It's going to be muddy for a while, but we can deal with that. So it's okay. It'll dry really fast. That wind just comes through here. I don't know that you're rushing to all of it. You see, hey, you don't go with East House and Sewer Lagoon. I see the name, the number of ships. I see John Waycombe, out of Ponchon, Energy, Yacht Evaluation on the Western Aro in the Oh, Ada, is now only we are what does not Ponchon achieve. Achieve a lot of dollars to secure your profit more. 313 alpha meeting call to order. todos os esforços que cada rodada com allora che era oggi si come la retiro va non che o processo di arabi dice si però per me di pastor Lester Sotero se kan di sorun den ka anne però Lester when come to pray for us.
All right, let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the beautiful day of this offering. Lord, we also mean rain. Thank you for all the people that have come in. You know their hearts, their minds. You got the answers on peace today. Let everything be accomplished today is the agenda. Help us with our words. Help us the way we talk with each other. We need to get along together. I thank you, sir. You've been very good to us this year. I pray you'll do the same next. I give all the honor, all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Grazie, nostro che the agenda. So, good morning or good afternoon, community members. Today is regular meeting, a meeting agenda, Wednesday, June 24, 2026, 3 o'clock p.m. Today is at the Tuajale Navajo Chapter Administration Building in Ohajile, New Mexico. Meeting agenda: 1, meeting call to order. 2, invocation. 3, review and approval of agenda. 4, review and approval of meeting minutes. 4A, May 27, 2026, TNC regular meeting. 5, reports. 5A, Navajo Nation Office of the Prosecutor, J.D. Henio. B, 25th Navajo Nation Council Delegate. C, To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter, Administration Officials, Club Committee. D, To'Hajiilee Land Board Member. E, To'Hajiilee Community School Board of Education. C, F, Kennesita Band Navajo Health Center. G, To'Hajiilee Navajo Courthouse. H, Bob Member Council. You have 6 unfinished business. 6A, TNC 2026-006. Resolution of the To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter, Kennesita Band Navajo's approving January 2026 financial statement report provided by the Secretary Treasurer. B, TNC 2026-015, resolution of the To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter, Kennesita Band Navajo's approving February 2026 financial statement report provided by Secretary Treasurer. C, TNC 2026-018, resolution of the To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter, Kennesita Band Navajo's requesting the Navajo Housing Authority and its hired architectural and engineering firm to provide technical assistance to the planning, designing, environmental and archaeological clearance for a new sewer lagoon with mainline corridor, and directing the Navajo Land Department to approve the land withdrawal designation of the 14.7 acres parcel of land south of the Navajo Housing Authority tract. The new lagoon will replace the current existing lagoon due to major erosion between cells. In addition, To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter hereby accepts ownership, operation, and maintenance responsibilities on the new sewer lagoon system. B, TNC 2026-021, resolution of the To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter, Kennesita Band Navajo's approving March 2026 financial statement report provided by Secretary Treasurer. E, TNC 2026-022, resolution of the To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter, Kennesita Band Navajo to approve and authorize the acceptance of the 2026 Navajo Nation sales tax distribution in the amount of $16,322.00 for fiscal year 2026. F, TNC 2026-027, resolution of the To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter, Kennesita Band Navajo's approving April 2026 financial statement report provided by the Secretary Treasurer. G, TNC 2028 or 2026-2028, resolution of the To'Hajiilee Navajo Chapter, Kennesita Band Navajo's adopting the chapter's rules of order pursuant to the Navajo Nation Local Governance Act to govern the conduct of chapter meetings. HTNC 2026030, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter, Kansas City Bend, Navajos to approve and authorize the acceptance of the 2026 Navajo Nation Emergency Fund in the amount of $54,987.00 for fiscal year 2026. ITC 2026031, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter, Kansas City Bend, Navajos to approve and authorize the acceptance of the Navajo Nation General Fund carryover fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $9,642.00 for fiscal year 2026. JTNC 2026032, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter to approve and authorize the acceptance of the Navajo Nation Gaming Fund fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $2,995.27 for fiscal year 2026, I have a mistake right there. I put 0.27.00, just delete the 0.00, sorry. 7, new business, ATC 2026036, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter, Kansas City Bend, Navajos approving May 2026 financial statement report provided by the Secretary Treasurer. BTC 2027037, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter, Kansas City Bend, Navajos to amend resolution CBN 9705200077, resolution of the homesite lease for Yvonne Apachito and update with corrections. CTNC 2026038, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter, Kansas City Bend, Navajos to request of the Navajo Nation Council's Health, Education, and Human Services Committee and the Navajo Committee and the Navajo Nation Council to reinstate and re-enroll Dorothy Rose Piazza to the Navajo Nation. DTNC 2026039, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter, Kansas City Bend, Navajos to approve and renew homesite lease for Margie Cotero on Kansas City Bend, Navajos land in accordance with applicable rules and regulation pursuant to 25 CFR. ETC 2026040, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter, Kansas City Bend, Navajos to approve and authorize the housing discretionary assistance for registered Tuajule Navajo community members utilizing the housing discretionary funds in account and the amount not to exceed 2026 fiscal year allocation $900. Alex Apachito, Judy Apachito, A.B. Johnson, and Jason Johnson. FTNC 2026041, resolution of the Tuajule Navajo chapter, Kansas City Bend, Navajos requesting the Administrative Service Center to review the allowability of utilizing Fund 51 revenue for legal services and to earmark $30,000 pending such review. 8, announcements. 9, benediction. 10, adjournment. Community members, that is your agenda. One request that I do have, if it's possible, to possibly just go through business items after minutes and then reports. It's the only request that I have. Community members.
Jackie?
Yatte, Ano, Fodor. Again, so Heidi, Dosh, Ilan, which starts Ido, not so certain. Ado, Dosh, Ilan, Ado, Heidi, not on the meeting, Heidi, agenda, Hogato, Hindu business, number 7, number F, PA, at settled zone, before A. PA sa aniki pagkain doon, RTF, out, Bedishna, Modishna, Aro, Pangos, Shishi, Hajon, Idoki, Apodojo, Ito, outside in King Street, but I pay back, Bedishna, Modishna, again.
Thank you, Jackie. It's not educating Rocky. Contractor. Irma. It's agent. move it on, meet on the smart jack and throw Irma AK Mia. For that, bring us some issue.
Jackie, thank you, Irma. One request that I do have is if we can go with your request and then just have NHA next and then we'll go through all the business items. Because they're coming from Winter Rock and that's already almost 4.
Say that again?
So if after your F, if we could do the NHA one and then just go through all the business items after that.
So NHA will be after,
Yes, after the F.
okay. Ashiko.
Irma, is that okay with you?
Yes.
All those in favor, raise your hand.
Now, 23, now the top of the it's on to Sham. Oppose, abstain, one abstain. Abstain, Asila. Motion granted.
No, you have to have 25.
It has to be 25, that's all.
Vote again.
In favor, Shafar, in favor, which is all these, or maybe another feet. Ashmode.
Austin, you
To the Jackie gauges, not the A fashion. Oh, 25, that it's on the shop. Up there now, out of 5 the Slovenia, outside. Washington, Jokut Ela.
Thank you, committee members. So right now we'll go into meeting minutes actually first before we get into item F. So let's see. Okay. So February 27, 2026, Tohajale Navajo chapter regular meeting. Let's see. Meeting minutes or Tohajale Navajo chapter administration building in Tohajale, New Mexico. Meeting minutes. President Hurley called it. One meeting was called to order by President Hurley at 2:20 invocation. 2 invocation by Clarence Mariano. 3, review and approval of agenda. Motion to approve at the request of having business item first and reports due to amount of resolutions by Lawrence Platero, second by Jacqueline Platero. Motion to amend the agenda and place Sergeant of Arms, Loretta Platero and Ad Raquel. Hurley's resolution by Jacqueline Platero, second by Alvara Secretarial. 20 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 abstention. Revote, request by President Hurley. 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 abstention. 4, review and approval of meeting minutes. April 15, 2026, Tohajale Navajo chapter regular meeting. Motion to approve April 15th meeting minutes by Jacqueline Platero, second by Alvara Yazi. 29 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstention. 5, unfinished business, TNC 2026, resolution of the Tohajale Navajo chapter, Kansas City Band of Navajos, to approving January 2026 financial statement report provided by the Secretary Treasurer. Motion to table by Jacqueline Platero, second by Alvara Yazi. 30 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 abstention. B, TNC 2026-015, resolution of the Tohajale Navajo chapter, Kansas City Band of Navajos, approving February 2026 financial statement report provided by the Secretary Treasurer. Motion to approve by Arnold Francisco, second by Mary Jane Jesus. 6 in favor, 15 opposed, and 3 abstention. C, TNC 2026-018, resolution of the Tohajale Navajo chapter, Kansas City Band of Navajos, requesting the Navajo Housing Authority its hired architecture and engineering firm to provide technical assistance in the planning, designing, environmental, and archaeological clearance for a new sewer lagoon with mainline corridor and directing the Navajo Land Department to approve the land withdrawal designation of 23 acres parcel of land south of the Navajo Housing Authority tract, Navajo Housing Authority housing tract. The new lagoon will replace the current existing lagoon due to major erosions between cells and additions modulate Navajo chapter. Hereby accept ownership and operation and maintenance responsibilities on the new sewer lagoon system. Motion to table by Jacqueline Platero, second by Brenda Platero, 24 in favor, 2 opposed, and 3 abstention. D, TNC 2026-021, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, approving March 2026 financial statement report provided by the Secretary Treasurer. Motion to table by Jacqueline Platero, second by Alvaro Yazzie, 30 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 abstention. E, TNC 2026-022, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, to approve and authorize the acceptance of the 2026 Navajo Nation sales tax distribution in the amount of $16,322.00 for fiscal year 2026. Motion to table by Raquel Hurley, second by Alvaro Yazzie. 25 in favor, 0 opposed, 4 abstention. F, TNC 2026-025, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, requesting the Bureau of Indian Affairs to provide and deliver culverts and gravel material and road maintenance and improvements to BIA Route 7071. No action. 6, new business, TNC 2026-027, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, approving April 2026 financial statement report provided by the Secretary Treasurer. Motion to table by Jacqueline Platero, second by Alvaro Yazzie, 30 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 abstention. B, TNC 2026-028, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, adopting the chapter's rules of order pursuant to the Navajo Nation Local Governance Act to govern the conduct of chapter meetings. Motion to table by Raquel Hurley, seconded by Brenda Platero, 20 in favor, 6 opposed, and 5 abstention. Does not pass. C, TNC 2026-029, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, approving and adopting the policies and procedures for virtual hybrid chapter meeting pursuant to Local Governance Act amendments. Motion to approve by Raquel Hurley, seconded by Brenda Platero, 2 in favor, 33 opposed, 3 abstention. Does not pass. D, TNC 2026-032, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, to approve and authorize the acceptance of the 2026 Navajo Nation Emergency Fund in the amount of $54,987.00 for fiscal year 2026. Motion to table by Jacqueline Platero, seconded by Alvaro Yazzie. 30 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 abstentions. E, TNC 2026-031, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, to approve and authorize the acceptance of the Navajo Nation General Fund carryover fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $9,642.00 for fiscal year 2026. Motion to table by Jacqueline Platero, seconded by Alvaro Yazzie. 30 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 abstentions. F, TNC 2026-032, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, to approve and authorize the acceptance of the Navajo Nation Gaming Fund carryover fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $2,995.27 for fiscal year 2026. Motion to table by Jacqueline Platero, seconded by Alvaro Yazzie. 30 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 abstention. G, TNC 2026-033, resolution of the Kwajalein Navajo chapter, Kanesita Band of Navajos, authorizing endorsement for the Kanesita Kwajalein chapter land board member and CBN Kwajalein chapter to collaborate with the Navajo Nation Department of Transportation for improvements to Tribal Road 7071 south of the Kwajalein chapter. Correction, land board member, not members. Motion to approve with correction by Raquel Hurley, second by Isabel Chavez. 32 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 abstention. H, TNC 2026-034, Resolution of the Tuajale Navajo Chapter, Kennesaw Bend, the Navajos to approve and authorize the housing discretionary assistance for registered Tohajale Navajo community members utilizing the housing discretionary account in the amount not to exceed 2026 fiscal year allocations, $900. Joseph Apachito and Geneva Sosi. Motion to approve by Lawrence Platero, seconded by Austin Long Jr. 33 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstention. I-10C 2026035, resolution of the Tuajale Navajo Chapter, Kennesaw Bend, the Navajos, accepted resolution TNC 1805049 of the established the Tuajale Navajo Chapter, Kennesaw Bend, the Navajos, is an oversight of Kennesaw Bend, the Navajos Health Center, in which the Tuajale Navajo Chapter, Kennesaw Bend, the Navajos request removal of current CBN-HC Board of Directors effective immediately. Motion to approve by Raquel Hurley, seconded by Jacqueline Quintero. Motion to amend and include Raquel Hurley's comment regarding Judge Quintero's order. I will not, quote, I will not infringe the people's right to vote on the Health Board from case number THCB 0012024 by Jacqueline Quintero. Second by Alvaro Yazzie, 30 in favor, 0 opposed, 6 abstention. Vote on the main motion, 27 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 abstention. Reports were done by Navajo Nation Office of the Prosecutor, Mr. Jamie Hino, 25th Navajo Nation Council Delegate Norman Begay, Tuajale Navajo Chapter Secretary Treasurer Jordan and City, Tohajale Community School Board of Education School Board Member President Platero, Kennesaw Bend and Navajos Health Center Board Member Platero, and campaign were done by Mr. Mary Garcia, Ira Vandiver, Hosky Key, Earl Apachito. No announcements. 9 benediction by President Hurley. 10 adjournment by President Hurley at 8:30 p.m. Community members, that is your meeting minutes from May.
Devoción nacional los dos canales kita informa menjadi pagi. Yes.
If needed, not proceed in it, not on, but in the severe not from a big need, and I need society. Such a bit of critical shadow, so not proceed in the limited. Sabet is critical shadow, so Pala Pai A, they not as limited, be available in the limited. Ayuba. Basa palo, ako kalo tenne api tano kalo, ken aj aro tenne api yatari me kay aji yang si kesi ao. Ako pinado pinachedish negi, senet sosi aj tata chokhangi. Ako shini tenda is sos. Ako dinat sosi ena nechegi kaigi. Let go the ape song. Father the ne ape to echne to echno to eke aga o antiada the neku ya Nikeas kid what the big Nikeas kid or Nike kid so now to ye not single a kid ashton the net that is netod yatabi Ako every not so sincerity every ajar yahte soso hajo every agati ahidon ni ahi ajar because anagi the ishta the shil misafiniya dishna ako every administrator the corona so sis anagi to the suntai to corona is negative Ako what every cry or call baby the schnabble being inch cake in our sauce. Addition about Florida Halena, Ashore na okao Betsalao Pasha Shaditsos Again the na
She's requesting, okay. Need a second on that? Harrison, seconded. All in favor, raise your right hand. Vatitcha Odonila, it's Antisha, opposed, any opposed? It didn't pass, so let's abstain, one abstain. Anybody else abstain? Who didn't vote? So I then Dorothy, raise your hand. Are you 2302? Motion carried. Apot elo. Oh, nas na ho distortion. Shinala.
Next one, proposed resolution, or if you notice in your packet, TNC 2026-041, resolution of the Swahili Navajo Chapter, KNC Tibet and Navajos, requesting Administrative Service Center to review the allowability of utilizing Fund 51 revenues for legal services and to earmark $30,000 pending such review. Whereas Swahili Navajo Chapter, KNC Tibet and Navajos is a certified government pursuant to 26 Navajo Nation Code, Section 3A of the Navajo Nation Government, as listed as Title 11, Part 1, Section 810, and delegated government authority with respect to local matters consistent with Navajo law, including customs, traditions, and fiscal matters. To the Swahili Navajo Chapter, KNC Tibet and Navajos is empowered pursuant to Navajo Nation Code, Title 26, Section 1B, is invested with authority to review all matters affecting the community and to make favorable decisions when necessary, to make recommendations to Navajo Nation and other in the best interest of the community membership for appropriate action. 3, the chapter maintains Fund 51 revenues generated from film production activities occurring within the Swahili chapter community. And 4, community members have expressed interest in utilizing a portion of Fund 51 revenues for legal services that may benefit community interests. 5, questions have arisen regarding the allowability of such expenditures under the Navajo Nation chapter's business or the budget instruction manual. Actually, that's supposed to be budget instruction manual applicable Navajo Nation laws, policies, and fiscal management requirements. And the 6, the chapter desires to ensure compliance with all applicable laws and regulations prior to authorizing any expenditures of Fund 51 revenues for legal services. Now, therefore, to be resolved, the Swahili Navajo Chapter hereby requests Administrative Service Center to conduct a review and provide guidance regarding whether Fund 51 revenues may legally and properly be utilized for legal services under the Navajo Nation Budget Instructions Manual and applicable laws. The Swahili Navajo Chapter recommends that $30,000 from Fund 51 be identified and earmarked pending the outcome of the ASC review and additional legal options deemed necessary. And 3, no expenditures of the earmarked fund shall occur unless and until chapter receives written confirmation that such expenditures is allowable in applicable procurement, contracting, and approval requirements have been satisfied. Community members, that is Resolution 41.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Arnold. Okay, Arnold second. Questions? Any questions? Nadie. All you vote on this stuff, all in favor, raise your right hand.
Here.
27, nothing. Astran. Tasadish. Astran. Nothing. Astran. Ogonila. It's Aja. It's Aja. One. No. Adela. 0. Opposed. Abstention. 1.
That's what I thought.
Any abstention? Motion passed.
I guess we approved this one, what Jordan wanted.
Abot elo.
And each day, they have to leave one time.
Eh, sinalo kodonde sa hotsoren kamatahi. Asin bijani zaji sa kodo bahdo jisko kodo. Iniyan arbahi yung jisko kodo sinalo ko.
Let me read the resolution for record first. So this is Resolution TNC 2026-018. Resolution of the Tuajali Navajo Chapter, Kenny-Sika Band of Navajos requesting the Navajo Housing Authority and its hired architectural and engineering firm to provide technical assistance in the planning, designing, environmental, and archaeological clearance for the new sewer lagoon with mainline corridor, and directing the Navajo Land Department to approve the land withdrawal designation of the 14.7 acre parcel of land south of the Navajo Housing Authority housing tract. The new lagoon will replace the current existing lagoon to major erosions between cells and additions. Modulate Chapter hereby accepts ownership and operation maintenance responsibilities of the new sewer lagoon. Community members, this resolution has been floating in our meeting for this is our 4th month. I think it's our 4th month now. So I'll give it over to Vernon.
Your Honor, Jay, Vernon member, Mr. Janito, Navajo Housing Authority, it's cheap, it's not to be cheap. Come on, it's not on the cheap. Accumulate significant many units as of the total planning and or CPA even the road staff in support of resolution so that we got to the other doctors in the area in staff. They are just to India. So India, about India, temporary there are much PDB isa ani ay tahan so kade ko ay existing isa existing good ko jo ba ta age ni ko na tsito ni good ko i ha mo so ko di ko su na do ne na a sa mo ko shi no ni mo ni ko ji ta e ko 또 시기에 있는데 시대 그때가 시대가 어떻게 가는 so today aku dia dah dan kalau di kasar understood by dia aja dia all the kasar inside of the another itu ada besul nanti ada betul kalau kasar ini on the north end which is kalau ada juga kalau ada good nanti so that's what Hoca daha kurdu ama hocaların diyor de yüzden diyor hoca da yaptı o konuşan da diyor ama ko bona tao ini ko tabii ki daha sevgiyle eşeğin ardından da akdo the chapters from day one is going to be made clear in operating the system. Deixa eu ver, eu passo nada, eu pego, tiro a se não eu passo nada, deixa eu ver nada que chega, já tem. Porque o da bilhar o chat da ya o ele chega. If you belong to the chat, maybe not. O neto.
Krishna.
And that's 14 acres, yeah.
Oh, 14. 14 over. 14 over. The acres that we're looking at is going to be PDD, which was 14.69. Included. Right here's uncoded. The DD2 main. They 1.517 acres. He made so called 14.8. You guys can go. 映画化の発動。Additional help to
One question is, now some of the she's, should I speak, but you could afford the housing address in the league. They include the school for you, the sleep issue, vessel, but the issue, Kabakana, the first day of the
Actually, not so the resolution of the hospital, only say that the hospital are in the I don't think I should not actually, I don't know for number. So this is that it has to cover that too. Remember that you give up that land, that you do, most likely it's probably going to be a new But on its own, then we can see out the husband.
Good.
Question. We don't maintain anything. Mostly we just build and just some of and maintain it operate.
Any other questions?
Till the thing.
Good.
So really quick, 10 seconds. This is a initiative from your president last year when he first came into office. He had requested NHA and Navajo EPA to work on the lagoon on that side because it was leaking. So this is coming from your president. The only request, Mr. Gutero and Ms. Francisco, the acreage is 14.8. Is that okay if I just change it to 14.8 instead of 14.7?
Should be less.
Yeah, I agree.
Just leave it at 14.7.
It has, well, as less as they can go is 14.8, so that's where I need, if that's okay.
14.7.
I didn't include the little parcel area that he, on the end. Is that okay, Gerson? Gordon?
Okay, Harrison Snado Dormi raise your right hand in favor of putting up a new sewer lagoon. Nothing said be over, neither is Adesha. Any opposed? One abstain. Any abstain? Two abstain. I put A low. Motion carried. Yeah.
Thank you, travel safe. Thank you, and hopefully see it in a year or so. Community members who have just walked in, there was a motion earlier to go through two of the business items first, and then after that going on to the unfinished business. So right now we're going into 6 unfinished business. 6A, TNC 2026006, Resolution of the Tuanjale Navajo Chapter, Canyon City Band of Navajos approving January 2026 financial statement report provided by Secretary Treasurer. So for those of you who did get a packet, you'll notice one of the budgets to actuals, and I hope this is what you guys are wanting now. So this is actually the numbers that are coming from your chapter operation. Know that this fund the administration goes off the budget that is approved by the community, and if there's any changes such as transfers, that usually happens. So there's if it's okay, I'm gonna go through all 5 of them, or if you just want me to go through, or I'll just go through each one of them so that community members get a better understanding. So in your packet, you'll see your January 2026. It's on the top right corner. And the one that listed on the far left, that fund is fund code 1. This is coming from your general activities fund. So within this fund, there was, let me see. So in the month of March, there was funds that was taken out for operating supplies in the amount of $184.33, natural gas propane in the amount of $200, financial assistance funerals in the amount of $1,500. So in the end of January 31st, the available budget or the available balance was $13,019.96. The next one is Fund 3, which is your trust funds, land claims trust. In that account, you'll see that $944.62 was taken out for office supplies. Operating supplies was $2,803.34. Dues and subscription, $1,500. Telephone expense, $688.46. Electric expense, $423.86. Water expense, $17.40. So Fund 3, there was a January 31st, 2026, there's an available balance of $48,667.77. Next one, land grazing, land official stipend. This amount, it's been ongoing even since when I was the first chapter official, but nothing has been used in that account. But there is a balance of $20.71. Fund 8, which is your summer youth employment, there was no funds that was used during that time, so there was an available balance of $20,696.24. Fund 9, which is your housing discretionary assistance, there was a $13,714.25 that was expensed out, leaving a balance of $52,805.64. I know in the past community members wanted names. These names, we can't provide it over to you, but in a way the community members through resolution, they approved these assistance. So this was financial assistance to community, archaeological, and then building material. So the next one is Fund 10. As far as the expenses that came out, travel expense in the amount of $2,333.78. Vehicle mileage expense, $2,143.10. Dues and subscription, $130.50. Repair and maintenance of chapter equipment, $2,147.14. Consultant expense, $104.94. Bank service charges, $495.53. Total expense, $7,145.11 with an available balance of $75,654.08. If you have questions, let me know and I can try to answer it, but just know that this was back in January. So Fund 12, which is your next account, which is your chapter official stipends. So in total, $11,500 was taken out. I think that kind of speaks for itself. So there's an available balance of $43,094.16. Fund 13 is your scholarship fund. There was no funds that was expensed out, so there's an available balance of $23,450.18. Fund 14, there's scholarship claims fund. Again, no funds was expensed out, so there's a total balance of $15,639. Fund 15, which is your public employment project, a total of the salaries with the fringe benefits expensed out was $4,912.49, leaving a balance of $85,394.78. Fund 16, which is your public employment project, PEP workers, catering, that was done for $4,471.26, was expensed out, leaving a balance of $8,301.06. Fund 17, or actually, Fund 16 is your veterans fund, I should say that, I'm sorry. Fund 16 is your veterans fund. So catering was total expense was $4,471.26. Their balance is $8,301.06. Next one is Fund 17, which is the emergency fund. There was no funds that were expensed out, leaving a balance of $62,011.93. Next one is Fund 21, which is your chapter maintenance and operation. Nothing was expensed out, leaving a balance of $34,258.34. Next fund is Fund 22, which is your Navajo Nation General Funds, $25,000 supplemental. Nothing was expensed out, with a balance of $39,992.06. Fund 23 is your Navajo Nation Sales Tax Fund. All that was expensed out was $750 for waste disposal collection, leaving a balance of $52,159.42. Fund 24, Navajo Nation General Funds, $100,000 supplemental. With this one, nothing was expensed out, leaving a balance of, which one is it? Fund 24, $12,472.07. Next one is Fund 25, which is your capital improvement, $180,000. Nothing was expensed out, leaving a balance of $9,636.32. Next one is Fund 27, Navajo Nation General Fund, $200,000. Nothing was expensed out, so leaving a balance of $92,078.91. Next one is Fund 34, your Agriculture and Infrastructure Fund. Nothing was expensed out, leaving a balance of $50.60. Next one is Fund 40, which is your unhealthy food tax. Let me see. Food was purchased at $516.30, leaving a balance of $15,176.08. Fund 51, which is your movie fund. Actually, for your tri-state, this is your tri-state funds. And so I think you have to fix the resolution. So all that was expensed out was $500 for funeral assistant, leaving a balance of $6,581.76. Next is your CB and water department. Electric was paid in an amount of $4,406.57. Repair and maintenance at $754.07. Leaving a balance of $35,763.21. Last is your Fund 53, which is your film fund. There was operating supplies in the amount of $348.70. Food purchases in the amount of $1,141.14. Wood purchase in the amount of $17,057.40. Propane in the amount of $5,240, leaving a balance of $624.62. Community members, are there any questions regarding January's financial statement, and is this okay? Harrison?
There's always a big question on your financial statement from year to year to year to year. We still don't have a clear answer how some of the fundings have been spent. How now, the advertisement, constant base of carryover. All we do is your carryover. For next year, we need your approval of each time. So the office manager needs to come up with an advertisement of all these fundings that are just wasting wait for the carryover. We need to make those funds available to the community. And see, we need to take care of our elderly, especially, those who are in wheelchairs and things like that. Things like they have a front porch issues that they can't walk up and down the stairs. Things like that can be fixed through some of these funds. Electrical expense, use some of that funding for that. There's movie monies. That should be going directly to the community. You've already demonstrated last time that you told us that there's a lot of funding available under the statutes of where the money's coming in and what it's supposed to be used for and whatnot. We need to revisit that whole financial system of how we can generate some of this money to help the community members. Other than that, we have another issue in reference to the proposed issue of fine paid for $5,000 that's coming up. And I don't agree with that, where we should be buying hay for animal hunters. That should be at the discretion as far as the landlord is concerned. But if we brought up the issue that it's up to the community members who own animals, they need to provide them those feed for them themselves. It's not up to the chapter or much less the landlord. So those are some of the issues that I have in reference to your finance report, and it should be like this on a regular monthly basis, where some of the funding is went to and how it's spent. Thank you.
Chairman Harrison, So as a late, the company, she owned AIC or ADASA. So that should go, is one now, so one that, so she has now other she got on hand, other she I answer his phone. There is a question. That's good. Well, needs are the less good.
You guys just had an audit with your counties or whatever. How did that come out?
We're on the financial report, but as far as the audit that had came, we had a pre-exit meeting last, maybe about 3 Fridays ago. And so the guy that is our auditor, he had been promoted, so he kind of got delayed a month and a half. And then during that time, the chapter staff, they were supposed to make sure that some of the items that they deemed again were corrected by the exit meeting. So, are there any other questions for the January 2026 financial statements? Just know that I have to do February, March, April, and then May. So, Lori?
I have a question on gifts and awards. Is that done every month, or what kind of gifts and does it go to?
So the gift and awards, that one is with the veterans. They have their own discretionary money that the Affirmation Council gave them, and they're able to use it. As far as within the community, we don't, I believe we don't have gift and awards. We're not able to use that. Jackie?
Dire, Coroni, Jane, Feige. Here, I see business. Travel, 2,000. I don't issue on 2,000. Nora. About 5,000 altogether. Ashwata every month in that your sense. Kaya na gana. Okay, I don't know quite United States. D553. The Kagi. Ako Kodong, we can so strike in Kananas in Yankee. Dito is Katasha Yani Kasne. Ako film fund. Ita August 2025, yeah, ita 100 and I had an Eslatino on Satina Naki. The mean inside of on Tina and Eslatino on Patata. What I Simen. Ita din Nakayata Kasta. Ako ay Lydia. Not so better now if I worked up. Is that somewhat come? I don't know any J. Ako deep base so ke nta kidi ke are katwa ne. Ako na ayush na kinde kai ke. Ako I don't have show na bikia tie aro bela azni njuna o bela azni. Upon the Biniyaki, my Biniyaki, like the Iron Hatniki, walk head office, walk head, Hajo Bahaton, Don, and up on the Bela as me. I could the archer in the 153 bill money, ne? A archer with our vessel chito in decent nediki. I condemn Areven. Eta beja atalia. Beso. operating supplies. Esheke panihish. Chapters pa. Siya ay tayo kutahi peso na kaginte for operating supplies. Aron na out ke ko na asay ko net na ke ko net ka ko net ti ko net 99 ka Nes not the media na ka ako ano choose na hasni Pasok ako dyan emergency money pa no. Nse peso eta peja at ya. Ako siya 80 peso da kiriki pe peso ko dileni pe peso ko na isi kaniki aron so taniki halet ada etches be na haznela. So spetata the media Ako ayos na kinle. Doshalohat ela. Het out za. Eta en se hunte lo peso artisan Anonana a waste disposal. 37,000 nabakana. Chahat or gidat the afternoon, and of the very queer so anigidat the bikini area. I don't know the propane. It's not the media, Eshekepa, Quash, the Nash, the Nash, auto repair and maintenance. Eshehaina Bash Quiet chapter. Could a good day and not repair and maintenance a quick shit us so I wanted to us and how quick is she repair and maintenance they would out of a car. I don't think of none of not sauce better no the not the sauce number not the keep. I want that non-operate tractor equipment, not a car repair and maintenance, not a car. But it's just a halo. I was a base of their own need. Ako ayun to siya era. It's a crazy la. Nikitinash ko ng asmas. Patahat zero that's it. I want that peso. Pero talo that's it. O siya no? Anya. To be makushi the na ajut the patents and boganda that's Kuda to be yahatas nina. Alo inta boganda kubet yahatas na. Ako kushi ako. Nitsadamante lo epolango. Tae o kuli action and dash shit. So chonset out. The net of it is in the building. Ako di kwaeki. Hajo halet adi. Na keep peso ya. It's not kwaekas aniki but ouch on in the naya sha. The net kodo yente to jato na kia to kido kwa. Shisha nenigi ten. The aqua that is stunning the econo. Kodoch zidon and Nitra Nice 90 Kiriaka. Muji lato do not apekachi zidon and Nishidon Fazenda. Only Jin Kai out couldn't Arabe Lanta eat the not shut up of the Nadet. Oh, you go na the kimpano. Ako do siya sa era. Ayun na ka os na ko nakadati te na len. Ano o ale kahane siya to o yata disne. Tada ero tada dati no yata disne. To chmotan aden haten naman sa kesa. Kodot na siya nakada isnen. Chicago, Joshita, this no attendee street. Ako, quietly, I use it like him. Get it. 2 chapters of faith.
So going back into January's, we answered this one. This is the report, as you know, or I thought you knew, Jackie, but this is the report that is usually just given from administration to officials. And so I don't know if you know, but so when you pull these accounts, there are different restrictions that are within these accounts. And that's kind of the reason why I had gone through saying this is chapter general account, this is your trust fund, land claims account, your land official, home, summer youth, PEP. And so a lot of the stuff that you had mentioned, it was budgeted and then also approved within the community. So there was no objections to what was presented when the budget was passed during that time. So we're going off of that budget. During the planning meeting and also last regular meeting, one of the things that I had mentioned is that the only way to utilize the emergency fund is if the Navajo Nation president declares an emergency. I 1000% agree with you that we should use the funding that's within the emergency fund rather than the CBN funds. But during the winter, the Navajo Nation did not declare an emergency. So one of the things that the community had approved is the purchase of heating assistance. So that's why you see in Fund 53, you have wood, propane, let me see, I think it was electric. That was set aside for that portion right there.
Okay.
From there, the community would have came in, they would have filled out an application, and they would have got that assistance. And I believe the announcement had gone out during that time. The administration worked with your officials, or at least I was aware of it, of like everything that was happening regarding the heating assistance. And so that's where the majority of the funds came from. But if you notice, I cannot give names, I cannot provide that information because I don't have that information. So I did ask it of your account maintenance specialist, but this is all that I'm privileged to see. So.
Di kwaiki a bahensi o nitsamanpe do winter go nia. Digging kwaiki is in January. January go digging kwa.
Yes.
January go under the days under the winter. Ado kochiko is emergency money. 62,000
Before you go again, as I mentioned, the Navajo Nation president, not Ronnie, the Navajo Nation president out in Window Rock, Arizona, has to declare an emergency. There has to be an official letter, memorandum that comes from the Navajo Nation president in order for us to tap into that funds. There was no declaration that was given, and so that's why Fund 53 was used. Again, the Navajo Nation president has to declare an emergency, a resolution, and he uses his executive order power to declare that emergency, which kind of tells chapters, hey, you can use the emergency fund. So even then, right now, there's the only declaration that he had sent out was the drought emergency. So in his emergency orders, it says what chapters are able to utilize the emergency funds for. So the reason why also that is the emergency fund is pretty high is that when we were chapter officials, Jackie, Blair and myself, we worked on getting some wood and all that stuff for community members. And so one of the things that during that time, there was a declaration that was given across Navajo Nation by President Nez. And so Blair and I had basically gotten the approval from ASC. We put all the paperwork together, and we had said, hey, can we use our chapter money to purchase wood, purchase items for the community? Until we got an approval, we were able to utilize that money. Since then, I know that I don't know if you guys remember, but the chapter emergency budget, it was in the negative. The reason why it was in the negative is because they never reimbursed us from the Navajo Nation. It wasn't until last February they reimbursed us that money, and so that's why there's a lot of funding within that emergency fund. So I think when Jimmy and Jimmy's administration had came in, they supplemented part of the emergency fund with some of the funds within the chapter, and I think it was like a negative. They went to like a negative 20,000 or so. And then the rest came back from the Navajo Nation's reimbursement. And then from that, the council had approved another emergency funding that went out to the chapters. This one is the one on the agenda. That's another pot that's coming. But the only thing is that we cannot use it until the president of the Navajo Nation declares an emergency and says, hey, use your money. You can use your money, your chapter money. And so, but I agree, I think we should use the emergency funds over the film fund. And I think this is where it's kind of one of those policy issues too. Doreen, did you have a question?
I was just wondering, how would the president know in our area that, there's an emergency? I know, and you're talking about the whole nation, but in our community, it's different. So how can you say that he declares it not mine? I don't understand.
Harrison, you have a question?
Matter of fact, I've got just related to it, referencing, have you read the Constitution? Because we the people here in Tuolumne, we are the people that's governing our own community. So the government, the chapter official needs to listen to what the people say. No matter how intense situation we are in Tuolumne, any day is an emergency for any person living in the community. 80,000 of it. We the people are the governing body. So Navajo Nation doesn't, I just don't like the name Navajo Nation because the failing government is going on right now. And I don't like that, what's happening over there. It looks like it came down here to Tuolumne where everybody's acting in the same direction. And one other thing that I want you to consider is our president, Ronnie Hurley, went through some issues in reference to the tractor in the community in the early stage of his election. He had to fix a tire on a tractor, cost them over close to $1,000, and he never got reimbursed for his money. With all this maintenance that's listed in there, and I think he still has a receipt to show that he spent some money out of his own pocket to meet the needs of the community that needed the service. So that's the kind of leadership we need, and we need to consider paying him a retroactive payment for his action on those maintenance that he performed on the tractor. To me, that's utility, and he needs to be paid immediately.
Dynasty, he did 1,000 building. I want you guys to know that as a chapter officials, we don't work together. That's where all the problem is. There's no any kind of plan here. And all this budget thing that comes up is too confusing at times. It's because nobody is saying that let's just demolish this building, and how can we do it? How can we demolish this building and put up a new building? Let's demolish that building down there, the old chapter house, and let's build a new chapter house. See, we as an official don't get together and make a discussion on those things. Ako ebeni na o azo alu on hiskodesia. To hine kao ikoto nito ikot ako to nisto nida. Ako ebeni na kung peso na nilili yo na itikito ebeni na to yo to ada na kia tit adida. Nothing wrong with discussion. Nothing wrong with asking questions. There's nothing wrong with it. You can ask all the questions you want. That's what we're here for. And I'm saying that the chapter itself needs to work together. That's what I've been telling these people from the beginning. Let's work together, but it's not happening. Every time I say something, everybody's just doing their own thing. And then they just make fun of me. That's okay, but you know, I was born and raised with that. Then we would go to Santa Fe and then request that this needs to be changed here. But no, up and up. Like for instance, I heard somewhere the council delegate was sharing with us we had $4 million somewhere. And we need to change that scope of work. That's all we need. Change the scope of work. And who is doing that? The council delegate says, this is the contact person. We need to go to this contact person to change that scope of work so we can start with this construction down here and this one right here. And there's none of that at all. So you're asking about budget. Yes, it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to defend the chapter. If I try to defend the chapter, it's not going to work. So we might as well hear it. We might as well hear the truth. Ako asya na ito tito asya na bikiya da tidida to ada. Okay, we need to continue. Kadoshi nas na for story here.
Quickly to respond to Ms. Francisco. One of the things, as far as the president not knowing the issues, that's where a special meeting would have to be called upon your president. And from there, that special meeting will go into effect. A resolution would be requesting the Navajo Nation president to declare an emergency. So that's another route. As far as the governing body or the governance of this community, Mr. Platero, one of the things that could also be done is we sit down, review it, and re-budget the budget that the community had approved. So if you have any recommendations, you can send it to Ronnie, myself, or even Sherilyn, and then the resolution will just come into play. And I agree, there's a lot of money there that needs to be used. I think in the past, housing discretionary was pretty high, scholarship was pretty high. And several of the comments that usually come up from the Navajo Nation Council is that a lot of these chapters are just sitting on money. They're requesting money, but they're sitting on a lot of money. And I agree. I think one thing that we need to do too is sit down and see if we can increase a lot of these assistance that we provide over to our community members. I believe it was 1,200 at one point, and then 1,100, and then 1,000, and then 900 now for just housing discretionary. So, but back then when Mark was president, that's one of the things that ASC had told us, and we said, no, we want to keep it high, but now there's all this money that is sitting there, and so I think it would be good to increase some of these assistance that are provided over to the community. But I think one of the things, the issues that we had ran into back then, and also the past administration, and then even this current administration, is that the same people got assistance. And so I think that's where the policies were provided by Jimmy's administration and the officials. As far as President's comments regarding working together, I think this is I made numerous attempts trying to sit down and say, let's talk. But the only thing is that it's just that we just haven't had time to sit down. So I think we will set a meeting. And one of the things that I did, now that we have a full club C, and if that budget gets approved, then we will be able to invite them over so that we have a bigger group advocating for your community. Because I know Club C, they oversee certain portions of the community, and then one of the things is that it's just more eyes that we can see within the community, and they can make the recommendation as well. So President had mentioned the $4 million. He's correct. Norman had told us that, and I think that's one thing that we have looked into, and something that we're still looking into. That $4 million is just sitting with the state, but from what we heard from the Capital Project Management Department, they had said that funding might be restricted. So they were looking into it during that time, and I think that's where that we might be able to tap into, and so kind of to increase or to quickly utilize the funds. So. But I don't make fun of your president, I just want to let you know. So I work with them, but right now we're still on TNC 2026006. I know there's a couple other financial, resolutions here, so I just know that I have to go through each one of them. So Francie, Harrison, and then Doreen.
but we're not going through this again next year. So, I'm just requesting that all these resolutions are tabled and pushed into a special meeting.
Person,
Just to backtrack on your information about $4.2 million that was obtained from the capital outlay funding from Santa Fe was from the previous board working with Santa Fe to acquire that much money, and that's Kimberly and Lester and I, and then we had other representatives who were helping us to establish that amount for our community. That community was earmarked for a clinic, nothing else. And so I know that the foundation has that somewhere, and they take a percentage off the top, and by the time we get it here, it might be nothing. So that's for your understanding, and I agree with Francesca on postponing the budget hearing.
Yanate, Kinandai Dano Sana. Shai Yamaha Shiniya. Ashani, Eshe Kaiben Yapasha Chin. Shinandai Mosiniki. Doe Chin or Sinda or Sinda Arnold. Would you see us seize the duck? Sheridan, just get rid of her. Hala, the necklace, she's working against her own people. That's not right, go data. If she doesn't care, then she don't belong in that position. I can go over the any day on me a son. Back in January, he demolished it or he it's not. Okay, I'll get to it. Then I'll be the opposite. She's making a big difference in this community. Bid on Nora. Binina, that or Janaka. Jordan, the sheriff, highway citizen, she does it. I hope you have a head over you. And the jaw is in case. Never never on in case. Ashmode, a jaw, the president, if you got me. Respect one another, especially respect that. People of me, you can't open so dark, can't so Kadinda is born there. Share the Napa, Jobana, Hata, Ita. We voted for you. Everywhere there's a problem, starting with the clinic. It's bad. The clinic is no longer ours. It belongs to some people that are not from here. That's not right. A school has a definition from there. They had a groundbreaking. It's still dirt. Hajasham. But then it's just lies after lies. And I found out that all of you, they know you all the way up to Navajo Nation. It's Pantanotino. Starting from elections office, going with you. On that, they indicate with it. Navajo Nation issues. Again, you guys know each other. Based house now in Nassau. President Bonaiben did. When we didn't see either. Outside you weren't group English then. I couldn't get up with mention it. There's a group of people in the Fuji Day that are troublemakers. Who says that? These are your community people.
Yes.
They need help. Why do you say that to your own people?
Yes.
That's the only reason why we're troublemakers. You don't listen to us. Get rid of Sheridan. She needs to go.
With Nora.
With Nora. Yeah.
okay, Doreen, Francie, was that your
That was a motion.
motion, your request? Yes. Second by, okay.
Harris
Robert.
Harrison.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Harrison, second.
So, Francie, this is your motion would be for, I'm just gonna say the end of the resolution number, 006 015 021 027 and 036. Right? Okay. So there's a motion to table to a special meeting the resolution or the numbers that I read by Francesca Beda and was seconded by Mr. Harrison Platero.
Is that to remove the Sheridan and Nora?
I made that motion on that one.
Cologne, as case special, Francesca, I'm sorry, I'm not good with names at all. Francesca, go Harrison. Francesca, ye disna Harrison, ye kin niya. Ako table, ito, mish ninigi, elan kisharat,
Push it to a special meeting.
special meeting, ito, mish na. In favor, yada dosni, all in flavor, raise your right hand.
Brenda. Brenda.
Another question, good, another question.
Nothing, oh, love it's Ajisha. Any opposed?
Right there, keep it.
He said, no, let's not have this. Okay, abstain. 1, 2. I don't know. So this is because I abstain doesn't mean you have to abstain too. What the
3,
shit?
4.
4, what the shit? 4, you know? 4 abstain. I'm just kidding. Question, Isabel.
Jordan, can you repeat those numbers, please?
Yes, so the first one is going to be unfinished business A 006, B 015, D 021, where's April? F 027, and then new business A 036. 036.
Jokut Elu. Four. Oh, yes.
Jordan. Forgot your name. Forgot your name. Jordan. Say how much is it? Anyway, Jordan, on this special meeting, you stated that if the community wants to re-itemize some of the budget that's in there, I think that would be a great opportunity for the community to revise some of those line items to the discretion of the community, what their needs are, what's more important for them. Everything in there doesn't, we need to know, Sherilyn needs to tell us what each line item is accounted for. What's included? If it's repair and maintenance, what does repair and maintenance cover? Is it just the chapter? Is it just the people? Is it the road? What is it for? There's like 10 items that are repair and maintenance. Then you have operating supplies. How many operating supplies do you need? There's like over 8 in there.
Okay, well, I'll put that onto the agenda, so.
So
I know
we can
everything that
that.
you're saying, you said it already again, so, but
Thank
I'll
you.
make sure to,
I'm just
set
requesting
aside,
that.
a little portion where we talk about all the budget and what it means, and so,
Isabel?
I just want to say that on here, it's our fault. We keep voting that who we select up there. That is where we need to think about who we're voting for. One of our officials works in Winter Rock, and I don't understand how they can work together. If one is way over there, and the other two is over here, and the other one is wearing two caps. We have three. And I want to say that we need to put a stop to that.
Yes.
One person should only be on one entity instead of like three. So I'd like to say that we can make chapter bylaws or whatever it is and state it in there that you can only be on one, so you can focus on that.
Yes.
Because you can't focus on three things in your head. I mean, you gotta take care of this business, gotta take care of that, and take care of this one. You can't. You gotta focus on one and do 100% excellent job.
Amen.
That's what I want to say that. So it's really our fault.
Thank you for your comment, Doreen.
There, just know that the clinic is a private entity, Pania. Das ist hold on, for you shareholders, 27, you're shareholders of that clinic. Hashidae Added, he's a shareholder. Bodney, and every time somebody speaks, they serve them from the court. Is that all they know? Just because he's a lawyer, he can work against our people? He's not even from here. He should go back to Alamo.
Amen.
That clinic belongs to CBN members, shareholders. It doesn't belong to those people that are there. I don't know how this is.
Thank you, Doreen. Adı bayağı değişikliğinizi sen ne Resolution 22, roll call, Michelle.
So the next item is going to be TNC 2026-022, resolution of the Tuajale Navajo chapter. County seeks to ban the Navajos to improve and authorize the acceptance of the 2026 Navajo Nation sales tax distribution in the amount of $16,322.00 for fiscal year 2026. So with this fund, the sales tax fund, it's basically used for planning within your community. And so this is going to CLUPSI for their stipend and fringe, diesel for the chapter equipment, and then repair and maintenance for the chapter equipment. So I know we went through a big discussion during the planning meeting, so this is the recommendation. So the recommendations are coming from the community during the planning meeting. So are there any questions? Jackie?
Leader, resolution 22. Auto program budget summary. So, ako, kuna empezó. Escapata, the media ko on starting is something on natin aquí. Ni this today, Anna. Ako, not often on the Inla in 2025 September Zivieta Otka de Fanetlewo 80 budget Arunana line item nahanne dini kanana sne. Akunne o yuisto. Diesel, fuel, repair and maintenance dasto. Ako di gi peso gi to klapsi ai peso bana atole atana lego. O Chanel atana lego le. Oh big iskit. Ako planner ato insin. Awat abenas ani so klapsi. Ako di peso a planner. Training, mileage, per diem. Awat patado, see? Niao o Chilibato, Nahadon, repair and maintenance, quickly go in your budget, chapter budget. Ako di clock, see, you see, Yagon, Tadon, John Bennett, Isabel, and Nia. After the style, yard awat nish. Awat nish, what either did. Eddie Klotzi Basala. Eddie planner with policy. Be his ani idol. Shibin kotan. Behiata What I go, Suntao, Arjunish, a DG, Antai, I give dog quiet county, then give a ya Antai, Atole. How shit about one level, did the double one, Aleni Yata, coward, but us. Upper Edo, Eda. Edi Trotsy bananas. I don't oh, you go, it's not a zippy trash, clean make machine. That Aggie do Basala. They has army, if either, they can yet cutting it. I would out the car, I would unlet it. A Jashin Navo nation don't need send on the hour out, they has army for cut seat that not this. Hatishi and now Egi Kenda. Hatishi at the street no Senigi Eben Nish. But our cock. I could be there. Peso. On a capsibano. Me. 50 planner. Katuyo at Ado Inta. Yena Wagi. I did training. What they sky. Intexero Harishin. Otanto after ni behas ani yohos yedane de so sedatna has ka aj ako what quite inch ke di o platsi do le eta di sai eta de so panat so do ha quickly quite ni is not so and what any inch ke.
So your recommendation is to take from the diesel and then the repair and maintenance for the equipment? Is that?
Oh, use
Okay.
all of it for classes and for training, for their per diem, for their travel, their hotel. Sometimes they have to do a 2-day training. Adonana, a planner. We need someone to help them and guide them. We still haven't finished our land use code. I don't let you kuya kaya topa sahuno. Don't be I don't push you up. Nago kaya nakahata sogo. Shidipet skunk. Trailer beskanten da sind denn und ich sehe etwas auch jetzt da. Aber da doch ja nicht schon ich sehe etwas ne. Aber
Thank you, Jackie. So if you notice, going back into your reports, that Fund 23, there's already some funds for everything that you're saying. not to go back on that side, but so there's $7,000 set aside for a planner contractual portion. There's $2,000 for travel operating. They have $3,000 gasoline for the chapter truck. That I think that's why the diesel is for the chapter equipment. So there's funding already for a lot of the stuff that you're saying on that side. So, but you want to put both the diesel for chapter equipment and then the repair and maintenance to travel, all travel.
You have to travel and a planner.
So the planner is already, there's $7,000 already set aside. My recommendation, I mean, it's up to the community, but the recommendation is that pass this, let Club City have their first meeting, and then they can make the recommendation for these funds right here. Because I think that's where, if they get a better understanding of their budget, then they would be able to say, like, hey, this is how we should set aside. A lot of the stuff that you have said before too, as far as the waste disposal across within the community, I think that's where they would make the recommendation, like, hey, chapter officials, chapter administration, we need to get some bins. There's these illegal dumping sites that we found out, and we need to set aside funding for PEP to help clean up or something like that. So, but that's my recommendation from your recommendation. So I don't, maybe just approve it right now as is, because there's no funding, or there's $2,000 that is set aside already for diesel for the chapter equipment, and then the repair and maintenance is for that chapter, the chapter equipment, the grader, the backhoe, and the backhoes. So Jackie, and then Francie.
จุดที่เดินคัดสิอะไรฉันนัดขายอย่างอีกเจก็เชิญเลยนะไปดอดนี่ training ก็ได้ขาย you don't have no money ไปดอดก็ที่อาจจะที่เดิน7,000นี่กี่ repair and maintenance 8,000นี่กี่คนน้อง so 7,573 I motion to change that and leave the other two the same. 80 repair and maintenance again. It's going to be travel for Club City. With that, I make a motion.
Repeat that. So the 7573, you want to put that towards mileage.
Mileage,
And
training, per diem, hotel. It's going to be for training. So there's no saying you don't have any money. Everything has to go through me.
So what about the 2,000?
The 2,000, well, you said we
Just
need
leave
it.
it as is? Okay. So right now, the recommendation would be the Club C stipend and fringe, leave it at $67.49. Diesel for chapter equipment at $2,000, and then travel for Club C at $75.73. Right? Is that a motion, Jackie?
Yes.
Francie, what was your? That was it. I'm not president.
Motion on the floor, Erson seconded, Jackie did it, Jackie, I wish you could bring your point across in Navajo so we can all understand. Sadorai sinta laot echo. The other make a
peso quiet. Bellato leki cause up the media to on Karen something on nothing like kiki. The cuts in Linigi Asanat Leto Ku art quite kaya because Angi Yasanat Leto Katishi Alamo Egi without the Zeta Kaya Tato Dick at make the shita, kita, tuna, consider artist of the date. I don't know the ikan lego oito, auto ikana rado leto, ikata ayado le, tatama kitchen of the ashi a sound teto. Ako editing, ako so the media should go on studying everything and sustaining at yet all those art training days, all those art and our rado de do, Kodo art of the Wiki, which is Lado de in society of Anzad. Other thing gas, diesel, isn't it? HAR what Edole, out of a question on the Hanta, Edo R Edole, every eye just now, this list, and can
Nancy, you have a question?
I guess if you have a motion on the board, but I have more of a comment. My comment to the community was, I get that you want to change all these things now, but it's June. You got to keep in mind that it's June, and all of these things, they're going to come back up in August and September for the new budget to start in October. So by the time this gets changed, realistically, you're going to have 4 weeks to spend $7,573, and then you get a new budget for the next year. My recommendation to the people would just be to leave it as is, because if you read this resolution, it says to approve and authorize the acceptance. What you're doing is you're getting the money from the nation and you're transferring it into the chapter account to go ahead and sit there, and then just go ahead. My recommendation would be to go through the special meeting and learn how the budget works, learn how to read the financial statements properly and match them against the fund management system or the BIM. And then once you're able to gain that knowledge, for the plan for the next year, to change it in the next year, starting October 1st. That way you can make multiple adjustments to the budget, and that'll help your officials, that'll help your administration to go ahead and move money around properly to plan for the next year and years coming up. Now, I see that to be more beneficial in the long run, instead of changing it and having it for 4 weeks. And then by the time the new budget comes out, you have to change it again.
So there's a motion by Jackie, and I think I would rather go with Jackie's recommendation, so that's actually law, but through a resolution. And so, and then that way that directive would go to the administration and make sure those line items are in there. So just my thought. Are there any other questions?
Okay, Mr. Harrison, you have a question?
No question, but I'm still second the motion.
Brenda, you have a question? Okay, Snish.
Oh, well,
Okay, Pele Isnan,
I did.
Jackie, and then Harrison, Kate, Leah. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Right here.
Yatatos ni o community. Ipeso na nalipipawin. Patino adasai odoni low. It's understand. Oppose. One oppose. Abstain. 1, 2, 3, 4. The baby's asleep in raising. 4 abstain. Thank you. Motion carried. Yeah.
Thank you. Next item is going to be item G, TNC 2026-028, resolution of the Tawajali Navajo Chapter, Kemisito Band, and Navajos adopting the chapter's rules of order pursuant to the Navajo Nation Local Governance Act to govern the conduct of chapter meetings. I know you went through this last time, and it looks like a majority of you were here during the planning meeting. I don't know if you want me to read it all again. If the community is in support, just know that this rules of order is basically, it'll help us and your administration to work in providing over these reports. And so one of the things that I do want you to notice in the policy that I did provide over is, let me see, your administration being involved in such as the policy. I think that's one of the things that it really emphasizes, that when the sponsor, which is the administration, they would be making those requests. One blank spot in the meeting minutes or in the policy is Rule 8 main motion C. So when individuals come in and make a presentation, it would just need minutes, or like the presenter cannot go over 10 minutes, over 15 minutes, and so we would just have to clock him during that time and then just set an alarm. So, do you guys want me to read it through?
No.
All right, Jackie and then Harrison.
第一，很多伊卡伊得是点当，可第空无 graphic 的块上面来的，就呢，按letzter am Sunday get shoot out上面来的epic am today，谁都多era，谁都era，按你这块。Nakasalalo le, nilebe na tani tasatare, api kodosa na atleti yofoto. Akunde beke the schna, akunde betaje that of fake. Hara shito shipon net zana. Ebe itagi sagi, oh, hayu, oh. They has ani betati, ha ishi that, an lege, hakuishi, nothing, that's it. Not so seeing it in a yiska. I came on out. Shaping the Atiki, it a conde baby, the snap, a conde, it's Anderson Doctor, Ashone, an inch cake. I motion.
Harrison?
She, the owner, the show here, so job announcement, I know. It's just regulations. From an evaluation we can understand or regulation data or case that should only be posted somewhere for people who need a copy of it, have a copy somewhere so they can relate to that. Otherwise, it's just an announcement out there of how regulations of meetings are run. So therefore, eliminate the whole resolution and toss it in the trash can, post it on the wall, and we'll go from there. But I'll second that.
Second motion.
Brenda seconded. Harrison, did you second? Okay. Brenda, is not Harrison.
Jackie, go Harrison.
Jackie, yeah, the Jackie came is not Harrison came. Kana vote coalition. Faith Echo.
No.
All in favor.
No. No.
Harrison, they are the coalition. Just one?
You. Opposed.
Opposed, shall. One opposed.
Everybody against
This is kind of confusion. It confuses you. What? Do you vote no here to support this, Jackie?
I oppose it, but you have to motion and you have to second it to oppose this regulation. Chứ tỏ ta đi, nếu anh đi kia khả sĩ tao khoản chúng có thằng nét lệ, có tế đồ lệ. Chứ đi ế bè hạt anh đi bị thằng nè. Nè khá là ta tỏ tao kênh siêu nên ổn sốt.
Yes.
Thì nét tao khả siêu bên ổn sốt. Tỏ tế ra, chứ tỏ sử dụng tế ra. Akon de bê kịp được nát đó, bê kê nét, chứ kê nét ní ai đi. I oppose. I want people to oppose it because the rule though it it should on sunda. Ako betalen no right on sunda. When the out I can make it out what
Motion on the floor, Jackie,
I have a question.
Mayash?
Okay. Regarding this TNC 2026-028, we can't just operate without any kind of order. You have to have order. If you want to speak, you raise your hand. And the president is the one who calls on you if he decides you can speak or not.
That's why you have.
And you don't yell out during the meetings.
That's what we have a copy of.
We're
You
not
raise your
yelling.
hand. You raise your hand. It's just respect. So there has to be some kind of order. We all need to just listen carefully. A lot of this is written down, but some of you don't even get it or there's specifics in it. Those are rules. It's just like rules. In a school, it's the same way. You raise your hand when you're spoken to. Or if you want to make a comment, you raise your hand. You have a good answer, raise your hand. So I think that rules have to be made. If you don't, do you have rules? Do you have rules made up? Why? Why are there no rules ever since this chapter started way back from our forefathers? Where are they? I want to see them. If you have them. We have to have some kind of order. We have to have rules. So I am against and for this resolution that we need it. You have to have order. Uncle, you know.
Thank you, Loretta. So I guess to try to sway your vote too, and I know one of the things that is often said is that where's Sherilyn, where's Valerie, why aren't they providing over any type of reports? And so one of the things that ASC Navajo Nation had told your administration is that they don't need to be at regular meetings. They don't need to be at, they only have to attend the planning meetings, and from there, the regular meeting, it's up to them. So if you notice in the policies, Rule 8 main motion, in there on letter E, it says the sponsor may answer questions after the sponsor has been recognized by the president. So I know at times Sherilyn has also had said, I don't need to be at these regular meetings, and it was also told back to us by her administrative supervisor. They don't have to be at these chapter meetings. They say, so this would kind of turn it all around to where she is going to be presenting these budgets. She's going to be the one presenting a lot of the resolutions that she has during the planning meeting. So she would have to be at these meetings. 2E, answer questions after sponsor has been recognized. And so this is one of the things we have been, in a way, we have been kind of following these rules of order as far as how motions, seconds go. Discussion has been happening, and we have been using it. So a lot of the stuff has just been taken out from the Title 26. So even with that, it doesn't restrict your chapter president, your vice president, or even your secretary into certain ways. So the only thing is that this is just how meetings are ran chapter meetings are ran. Say if someone would call a point of order, and like in the future, if this doesn't get approved, president can just say, you can just ignore this point of order. Doesn't really make sense, or like people could just talk over each other, and so it's more for accommodation to your chapter community. So, but I just do want to let you know I am in support of this, so that there's more order within our meetings. If you notice the past few meetings, I think we've been kind of going at a whim, but we're doing the best that we can, and this kind of organizes our chapter meetings. So that's all that I have to say. Yes.
Yeah, it, Eddie and Chaco, I just have a question. Is that the only option that there is to follow the Navajo Nation rule of conduct? Is you guys have an alternative one that they can kind of compare a contrast to, instead of just having one simple option? Is there another option that just we should present it that way? That at least the people are going to be. I think what the fear is, the fear of our democracy is at risk right now. It's becoming more of a diplomatic society in our region rather than it is the democracy's gone. We don't have a voice in what we're allowed to present or to say. So people are just coming up with rules and saying, oh, it's going to be like this or it's going to be like that. And kind of shifting that way, I can see it from an outside perspective. So, that's just my comment. I don't know if there's another option than what's being presented right now.
I think just, Gilbert, you have a question?
Hello, everybody. See everybody and all the relatives and coming to this hot building over here. Glad to see everybody. This resolution that's been put together for what's it called? For chapter order within the chapter meetings. This is for everybody's protection. Okay. I'm the commander of the Eastern Agency Veterans. I do not allow people to just stand up and start screaming at the meeting. I do not allow people just to start raising their hand and raising all kinds of hell. That's not allowed at my meeting. That should not be allowed here. We all need to have respect. Even though maybe we don't like the officials up there, you have to respect the position. You may not like the person, but you need to respect the position that they're holding. Just like the current president, Boone Agnew. A lot of people don't like him, but we have to respect his position. He's the president of the Navajo Nation. So I think this is a good idea to move forward with some kind of rules of order to follow within this chapter. You've seen on Facebook, out of Big Navajo out there, people are fighting at chapter meetings. Some of these people are actually physically fighting each other because there's no rules of order. You can't sit back here and just start raising your hand and start screaming around and you know that you're enticing a riot. That's what you're doing. We need to have some kind of rules of order, and the president needs to take care. He needs to call people out and say you're out of order. You need to sit down. You know, this is not to downgrade anybody. It's for the benefit of everybody so that we have a good, smooth running meeting. And there's no argument or there's no fighting amongst each other. We're all related in one way or the other. We need to come together and stay together. There's a lot of conflict in this community. We've been separated. We need to come back together. That's why all this stuff is happening out there. all the bad weather, the bad wind, no rain. Look at our cattle, look at the horses out there, they're all skinny and dying out there. Because the people are making it happen. We all have that animosity against each other. These rules of order, Jordan, they need to go forward. They need to be put into place within the chapter government, so that there'll be a smooth running meeting at every chapter meeting, and nobody's running over each other, screaming over one another. That's my opinion. Thank you very much.
Francie?
Okay, so thank you, Loretta, as far as your questions, or not Loretta, I'm sorry, Renee, as far as your question, this actually is a template that was provided over by Navajo Nation, and so basically how they felt that these chapters run across Navajo Nation is just basic rules of order. So they pulled certain parts of the Roberts Rules of Order and they threw it onto this. They used Navajo Nation Council's Rules of Order, and they just kind of simplified the Roberts Rules of Order. And so if you notice on the bottom, on the last Rule 21, any amendments are may be made during this time. But basically, it's just running a meeting, how to run a meeting. If you guys want to know how to run a meeting, this is basically running a policy for running an effective meeting. So as far as Gilbert, I do vouch for his comments. It's just standard practice. And again, it's kind of pulling from Robert's Rules of Order. But if you look into the actual policy, there's no restrictions that are given to your chapter officials or even your administration. It just says that the part that I really do want to emphasize is that the portion where the sponsor of the resolution has to present and then also answer questions. And I think that's where many of the community members have issues with your administration not being here during the planning or regular meetings. So it will make your administration be a part of our meetings. Well, that's how I read it. So as far as Francie, there's a motion by Jackie and then a second by Harrison. So are there any other questions? Francie?
Dat is zo zestig halen ne. Verschillende orkest, zender shema, Shadiye, what's her name? Minnie. There you go. Joshua Kinga.
Ako even ninyo, shibneetna ang shinang ay alit masuk pani. Kajo ikita ne, kajo nita bukto, kajo ikita ye. Ako ang kena nishkas edoni, at ang ito as chido snana isicheke. Parang na eka una, I'm sorry, maybe something, say something against you, but it is right. Ako, na mga teacher na baksin na mga naman ka. Astano, asking, but there's here of answer to kill. Crash that with young people. Crash that action, yeah, so, Nyaya Pednofa, at the company, at the acquaintance, men are so funny, I just got that, but not a company, there's no, there's a money. These are action, they should be a far, one today, should be the student, One more thing.
I can't shut them down. These stories, kasi what is. For Brital, you have a question?
Actually, I have a comment. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I'd like to say hi to my people, the Cito Band of Navajos. I would like my people to vote against this resolution. If I recall, 2-3 months ago, Sherilyn brought it up to everybody. She brought it up to everybody. And then I was like, okay, well, where are you? Even if you pass it, she's not going to be here. She's set on her ways. We need transparency to our people and communication to our people. We don't see that from her. Even these resolutions that are here regarding her budget, where is she? If she cares about her people, what's happening here in our community, she would be here no matter what. No matter if her job says be here or not. It's all about transparency and it's all about our people. That's what it's about. So I ask you, my people, vote against it. Even her budgets, she wants it passed and she should be here. Vote against it. Thank you.
It's just, we're spending too much time on this. So we have a motion by Jackie and then second by Harrison, and all that said in favor, raise your right hand. One, 7. Tato siya. Natin tato nila saskae o nila ako abstain aside 5 abstain 5 abstain la. Motion carried. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next item, H, TNC 2026030, resolution of the Tuajali Navajo Chapter, Kenizito Band of Navajos to approve and authorize the acceptance of the 2026 Navajo Nation Emergency Fund in the amount of $54,987.00 for fiscal year 2026. As reported during the planning meeting, there was recommendations that came through. I believe this was a recommendation from Raquel, and there was no objections during that time. So there's $5,000 for livestock, food would be hay, feed, I said livestock feed, $5,000, $39,987,000 for food for community members, and then wood in the amount of $10,000. So as mentioned before, this fund can only be tapped into if the Navajo Nation president declares an emergency. So So just looking online, there's 2 emergencies that he called within the last month, 2 weeks actually, the last 2.5 weeks. And the first one was a resolution of the Navajo Nation Commission of Emergency Management Declaration of a Drought Emergency. So again, drought chapters are able to utilize their, in this order, resolution, it says chapters are able to utilize their funds for windmill repairs, water storage units, distribution of water supplies to impacted communities. So again, as I mentioned, it has to come from the Navajo Nation president. The second one was the declaration of state of emergency due to the Oak Ridge fire and declaring the need for Navajo Nation resources to address current and subsequent impacts from wildfire impacts across the Navajo Nation. So in this order, most likely the chapter had requested the president or even the Commission of Emergency Management to declare it an emergency. So in this case, they went through the channels, and then from there, an order was made. Emergency order. So, but this is only, it taps into funds, and I think, as I mentioned, we can't use this funds until there's a declaration made. So, community members.
Right then, I think you just Francie.
A motion to combine the votes for 030, 031, and 032, because they're all acceptance of budgets and applications.
Each todo hidos no ladies na and then Robert AKB. We're just going to combine this. What was the number? 31 and 32. Or hidos. So now, but ladies na kalita. That's directed.
So, since that's the case, I'll read in the next following resolutions. Seeing the President recognized the second. So next one is TNC 2026031, resolution of the Tuajali Navajo chapter, Kinnisupi Band of Navajos to approve and authorize the acceptance of the Navajo Nation General Fund carryover fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $9,642.00 for fiscal year 2026. There's an allocated amount of $1,495.27 for postage, freight, UPS, and then $1,500 for bank service charges. Now the next one is TMC 2026032, resolution of the Tuajali Navajo chapter, Kinnisupi Band of Navajos to approve and authorize acceptance of the Navajo Nation gaming funds carryover fiscal year 2026 in the amount of $2,995.27 for fiscal year 2026. I know earlier, prior, there was recommendations that were made. Are there any recommendations for HIJ? Again, if this the funding gets accepted, just know that community member, you're able to make amendments to these budgets. I think during the special meeting we'll provide over how each of the budgets are. We'll do a presentation first of each of the budgets and how they're tied in, and then we'll kind of bring the budget that they the community had approved, and then just going from there. So since there's no other questions, President.
And then whatever is case, Francie, it is not all North Canada. Dio Kido no. Right? It is not Oh, you have a question?
Yes. I was looking at the postal and for UPS. Is that per month, or is that for a whole year? That's a year?
A whole year, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
그렇게 있으니까, 알고 되면 쓰니, 대답도 없으니,
Emergency fund. That's the one right there.
27, although Needham is Ajisha. Opposed. They show up today. Abstain. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 abstain. I show that. 6 abstain. Okay, motion carried. Thank you.
So next one, 7, we're going into new business. Please note that there are 2 home site leases. I don't know, Miss Appuccino is here. Is Miss Potero, or she's my Marky? Yes, okay. All right, it's gonna be a correction. So, if it's okay with the community, these home site leases are just edits, corrections, and then renewals. So if it's okay, I'll read in both. Is that okay? Okay. So first one is going to be, or 7A was tabled. Just know 7A was tabled to the special meeting. So 7B, TNC 2026-037, resolution of the Towaoh's Navajo chapter, Kennesaw Band and Navajos to amend resolution CBN 9705200077, home site lease for Yvonne Appuccino, and update with corrections. Yvonne?
Yvonne, for those who's in the house in that.
Just asking to update my home site lease I've had it since 1997, and it's never been updated, so I'm just asking for correction for it. That's about it.
He the kasha gani open na hoto zni no next way the house in the no the same operation for it it's in it yeah
Where's the home site
a
lease at?
profession
It's down at the subdivision below.
subdivision to Janendo shinde propriku that
They straight,
97 year tape last minute that
they straight of it, yeah.
trailer base water yeah.
So next one, it'd be B, TNC 2026039, or if it's okay, this will be a combined, I'm gonna make that request. Resolution of the Towaoh's Navajo chapter, Kennesaw Band and Navajos to approve and renew home site lease for Margie Platero, right? Platero, or Piasso, sorry. I crossed it out and then I did a control Z. Piasso on Kennesaw Band and Navajos land in accordance with applicable rules and regulations pursuant to 25 CFR. Shema. Non.
진짜 페이지 이인데 거 그건 이제 아니지 당신이 하다니 이인데 Motion, second, motion, Lawrence. Motion, second, Is this for both of them, right?
Yes.
Oh, he does, I think so, you have a question? Oh, yeah. Okay, Kesri, when Nasani's not. Katino, Kato, it's Anjasham. It's Anja, opposed, abstain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abstain.
6.
6 out of 5 is the Vigi Askana. Motion carried.
I need some water. Next one, C, TNC 2026-038, resolution of the Tajali Navajo chapter, Kennesaw Band, the Navajos to request of the Navajo Nation Council's Health, Education, and Human Services Committee and the Navikia State Committee and the Navajo Nation Council to reinstate and re-enroll Dorothy Rose Piasso to the Navajo Nation. Ms. Piasso, are you here? So this request came from Ms. Piasso to Sherilyn. Sherilyn had relayed it to Norman, and Norman wanted a resolution for Ms. Piasso. Looking at the records with the Navajo Nation Council, a resolution from the chapter isn't needed. So, but I would like the community to support this. If not, I have reached out to a couple delegates already, and they said they're willing to do the reinstatement. So it's just an obstacle that Norman brought.
Yes. Matthew Pavlov.
Nati Ashnati Shira Iran, Larashma, Laya Sandita, Rashma Sandita. Kodi Amanashan, Benan San Credit, Sana Rashma, Sana Taka Korea Satani is some good. Then the team of good. Givantan, all this year, that 10 days, just all summer, all winter. 10 days, all winter, all this. She loves just to get a charge. That's long, that's an issue. Number. Well, I need a house, a small house, not really. And to this day, I also attending on show. So that's not shaded. 10 plus a long time years. Is that anything on that one? No, that's what I mean. They do the or the shadow. On the hotel. You stay on the front street. It's going to be down on there. I don't come to that. Oh, what's going on? Who got it done? That's just got it out. これはまだ民主系ですけど、7センチからそうだ。右からね、頑張ったんで、消えるわけ。まだ、今回じゃあるやつ、3センチにこれや。痛いよ、学生です。Thank you for the additional introduction. Yeah.
Thank you, Matthew. Dr. Yana, the reinstatement for Rose Piasso, Dorothy Rose Piasso, is she here? Well, how can we know that she wants to be a Navajo again? Maybe she turned to a different tribe or something. So can we
Motion to table.
table this?
Jackie, just leave it a dead item, and I'll work with her to. She doesn't need a resolution, is what I'm saying. Norman is the one who requested it, so there's 2 delegates who are able to push it. I already told them her name, and I just need to reach out. So
Just in case, motion to table.
Jervis?
Jordan, if I'm honest, you say you reached out to 2 delegates. You found no way to reinstate. What is the process to reinstate? In case we not sitting in anymore, anyone is sitting in. Basically, how would we get reinstated?
second question, Isabel.
Start from the beginning, please. How does a person get this involved?
Okay, so just kidding. So when community members want to disenroll from the Navajo Nation, they would have to request it from the council for them to be disenrolled. So from there, the council it goes through the same process. So let's say I wanted to disenroll from the Navajo Nation, I would just contact Norman, and Norman, hey, can you put a legislation down to disenroll me? So to go through the whole process, what the Navajo Nation is losing out on is money for that individual. So in this case, it would be money for me being a Navajo. And so let's say I was Pueblo and I wanted to enroll in another Pueblo. So once I disenroll, I would be able to enroll into that Pueblo tribe. I know a handful of community members who had did that, I think during COVID, only because there was more money on the Pueblo side. And then the other way around, it kind of came back like that. So you would just request from the Navajo Nation, and then the vital records would disenroll you, and from there, you no longer have a CBN, a CIB. So in the other way around, the packet that was given to us is that Dorothy Rose Piasso, she enrolled in another tribe. She disenrolled, and so she enrolled in another tribe. And so from there, they did go through the process like how Navajo Nation, so she had to disenroll from that tribe, so that way she can re-enroll on the Navajo Nation. So she said, I no longer want to be this tribe because I have blood on the Navajo Nation and I had a CIB number once, or a census number once from the Navajo Nation. Then I can re-enroll. So she's being reinstated to the Navajo Nation. But the thing about it is that all that is needed, say if I was in that situation, I would just say like, I probably could talk to a delegate, hey delegate, can you put a legislation in place for me so that I can re-enroll into the Navajo Nation and I can get back the benefits of being a Navajo census number, and then it just goes through the council votes on it, and then once they approve it, Vital Records works on making me back Navajo, I guess. So, but it's really, I think there was a lot that had happened during COVID, going in, going out, and that's how I noticed it. If you go onto Navajo Nation's website, and that's what I looked at, there's a lot of re-enrollments, but it didn't need a chapter resolution. So, but she's doing this. I forgot which tribe she was disenrolling from, but she's already disenrolled in that tribe. So she's how would you say, a floating Indian. So, but it's not to CBN. That one, like that's something that it's not to CBN unless, of course, if she is a CBN member, then she's a CBN member. But there's nothing on that side official yet. So, community members, there's a motion to table by Jacqueline Platero. Is there a second? Is that a second, Brenda, or you have a question?
Second.
You said there's
Brenda,
no vote
Ken,
on
Mia, Jackie, Disna, table, go, Nisnila, DDK, that's stuff.
there's no vote on it.
There's no voter, okay.
There's no vote on it, so let's move on.
All table, yeah, just in case, you check, I let them check it.
Huh?
What did you say?
You said just in case.
Just in case.
Oh.
Table.
Not sospetano di di sospetto nero e da quai fai sono. Le regioni e kai shenia. Ako I even thought this whole makes whole a quai AP resolution but not doing. I eliminate to stable to
All table, yeah,
Oh.
oh, yeah. In favor? All in favor. Ashikoda? All in favor, well, let's vote on it. Come on, all in favor, raise your right hand.
Just for,
23 Ogonita, it's Aja. All opposed. Abstain, none shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8, 9, abstain. Out ela kobilas lila kya. Table as yara. Show. Pedashmi show. Ikone yi yokhe di Matthew. But this is not a planning meeting. But at the planning meeting, come with your requests, Mr. Pablo. Come to the planning meeting and then you can request for material or the help that you're requesting for is that you are living in a tent for all this year and another, maybe another year, so you need some kind of shelter. So, at the planning meeting on the first Oshe planning meeting, next week, I'm not planning meeting, so, the housing application, case of time, ako Asian lady kito lati the media the nada pizza ko manado ni sabiba ko I'm so thank you for being patient with us. Actually, case of nada di ako ta de ko one egg ni keto. No, what says that the other lady?
Ask who vote night.
The wolves is the one trader, you want to call. She got an owner that the asshole. Because it owners, the big trailer, or be the whole one the stop. And for AC, the eight and start over this board. Yes, there's a.
Just to give you information, John Navigation, who Chrissy Sims family, Sims homes, that the Yi kiddos, and these are they dead, even baby Jordan had he said, do something while he's at the winter ride. When the Chrissy, there's a bunch of that. So that they spend a cool cotton. Yeah, yes, these are the dogs.
There's a小的地方的比在的历史，我也是的这个但是你George是帮的真的，okay, proceed is now evening.
You're unjust, winter ride there. That's what I said, I don't know, where's that program? Under the Niagara.
I have a comment on that.
Comment,
Jordan,
yeah.
I have a comment on that. I think he's talking about Zenny Homes. And if you keep up with Navajo Nation information, $24 million was, I'm just going to say it, stolen from our Navajo people. So there's no way anybody's going to get homes. The only people that got homes were these 5 mobile homes that were given to community members. So if, we're talking about these mobile homes regarding Zenny Homes, it's not going to happen because the $24 million was stolen. So if you listen to council, that's what it's going to come out to be. That's it.
Only the world into Navajo housing service now. What are you at zero? Couldn't mean it, but don't know about
I think there's some ARPA funding too. There's still an office, but I text Sherilyn, so we'll try to, I'll help you out with this one. And then Harrison, CHID, CHID, I think that's the one you were talking about. I was kind of trying to figure out what Sims was. So this next item, housing discretionary, TNC 2026040, resolution of the Tuatulé Navajo chapter, can you seek to ban the Navajos to approve and authorize the housing discretionary assistance for registered Tuatulé Navajo community members utilizing the housing discretionary funds account in the amount not to exceed 2026 fiscal year allocations $900. Alex Apachito, Judy Apachito, A.B. Johnson, and Jason Johnson. Lawrence, and then Jackie.
Good. So we're gonna make a motion to approve these, and since we have no rules of conduct or policy, I want to add Piazza on there too. Matthew Zappa on that, put him on there as well.
Yeah.
Or on the discussion money? Oh, okay. 비도 저주는 비시던 카기 비도 저했나 비시 카도니 Jackie.
Bishop of Akagi, I second, but I want to know if these people are here. Bishop of Akagi, Kunandas, come. Dustin, Bishop of Akagi, Dustin. I thought I know, I thought hate them, in them. Need to know, but could they?
Dustin Vela. Alex. And then Jose Colosata. Jason Shaw. Where's Jason, my friend? Are you presenting Jason? Representing Jason? Okay. Sayang Latine. So, as Honda, Shala.
There's a four. Discretionary.
So I second it.
Oh, as emergency, APPT obits of Matthew. Okay, Lawrence motion. There's second.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Jackie second. Motion, all in favor, raise your right hands.
Harrison, raise your hand. Amara. Miss Sophie.
Recount it, there was none of these names.
Recount. Oh, you're not done none of those names.
40 in favor, oppose. Oppose. 2 oppose. Abstain, 1. Disney of Odo Nila. Alo, it's Anje, Bella. Na Kibitz Anje. Asai, Alo Hajas. Na Kid, Alo Hajas, Sidney Low. I spoke with Rada, thank you.
Last one, Harrison, I need you to retrack your motion and then just to include Fund 53. This one is Fund 53. So FTNC 2026-041, resolution of the Tajway Navajo chapter in Kennesaw Bend and Navajo is requesting the Administrative Service Center to review the allowability of utilizing Fund 53 revenue for legal services and to earmark $30,000 pending such review. I had read this into record earlier, Mr. Platero and then also Mr. Francisco, if you can just bring it back to the table just to make that.
We already voted on it.
That's what I'm saying. Just bring it back to the table to correct it. So.
Correct what?
To correct it. So it's Fund 53. But since we don't have a rules of order, just kidding.
Oh, Fund 53.
It's Fund 53, not Fund 51.
Okay, great.
Is that okay, Harrison? Yeah? Alright, so he takes back his motion or put. So this is I think this is how it goes. Motion to amend by Harrison Platero. Is there a second? Isabel. So I made a mistake on this one. The resolution should all go back to Fund 53. So being that we're being recorded and all that other good stuff, I just want to make sure the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. So there's a motion to amend the agenda TNC 2026-041 to read Fund 53 rather than Fund 51. It was motion and seconded, motion by Harrison Platero, seconded by Isabel Chavez.
This vote number is, man, I think you got.
All it was is just to change the number, but
Change the number,
yes.
Oh, just to change the number. Put in a sneaky.
The vote is in.
The vote is in.
All in favor?
We already voted. Sit down.
So I made the mistake. I had said it should read Fund 53, not Fund 51. Correction. So just to make sure that it's a legit resolution. So
The vote's already in.
there's already a vote, is an amendment to the resolution to correct it. Does that make sense?
Just the number.
Yes, it's just a number change. It's just a number change, that's it.
Close it, that's it. Close it, and that's it.
Do we vote again?
Yes, you vote again to amend it, that's why.
Amend in favor, raise your right hand, to amend this. خلينا مع سيبي أو دومينغا بتساعدنا بتساعد أنا خارج صديقي أرسائل 2 3 5 abstain 5 abstain أكو بلازني فيها
Now we're going back to reports, committee members. We have gone through all the business items. Thank you. As far as the special meeting, you want to just do next Wednesday?
Let's go.
Is there a date that you guys would like for a special meeting? I know most of you are gonna probably leave, so earlier there was a motion by Francie Aveda to do a special meeting to review the financial statement reports. There was Mara, Jennifer, and Mark people made 5 financial statement reports that we will cover, and it'll just be more of a presentation too. So I guess I'll talk with the president, and then we'll set that meeting up. And then during that time, any type of recommendations to make amendments will be discussed during that time too. So I'll work with President. So next item is going to be reports. Mr. Jamie Henyo, is it for Jamie?
I would like to make a recommendation for the special meeting to be on July 1st. Article, article.
Alright, so I think that was the route I was going to go. So July 1st, we'll have the special meeting instead of the regular meeting. And then the following Wednesday, we'll have the planning meeting, and then we'll just go from there. Is the afternoon okay? Or I think it's probably better to do it. Bring some fireworks.
In the morning.
Yeah. Oh, it's the first though. Are you sure? Oh, okay. We'll see what happens. If not, then we'll just push it. So we'll leave it on the first. Next, Mr. Henyo, are you here? Mr. Begay, Delegate Begay, no. Chapter administration, no. Chapter officials, no report. You guys have a report? Yeah.
Sorry.
It's getting hot. Isabel?
The phone box, it happened.
Oh, well, let's leave it at, well, what about 10? Does 10 work before all the bell goes in? 8 o'clock? 9 o'clock?
10.
10. All right.
6 o'clock in the morning.
If someone wants to bring some fried bread, I can bring some beans.
I'll bring fried bread.
All right, thanks, Jackie. I'll bring some. We need lettuce, tomatoes, onions, mutton. Okay.
So many lettuce, you know.
Matthew.
So many eggs, onions.
Matthew, could I have your Matthew. 아시고 자다 배우게 아들이나서 아로케주가 기타리나 아이다 내가 배다스니 가이다스도
Go downstairs.
Oh, this is it's getting hot here.
Breathing all hard over here. Just a quick announcement. There's just know that there's your community basketball team. There's some parents who are driving down and they're listening to the chapter meeting, and a couple of them have reached out saying like, tell everyone to turn around and wave. So they're playing in the Natty basketball tournament. So good luck, boys and girls. I think Zara and Alex are part of that team too, so they're probably waiting here now. So another announcement too is Tasha Willis. She's selling fried bread with spam for $6, fried bread with chili for $2. If you want it, text her, call or text at 505-523-7650. 523-7650. So going on, as far as a report from your chapter officials, I just have a small report. We haven't really, we don't have a exit meeting for the audit. I know that was something that we had talked about earlier, but one of the things that I did talk to Sherilyn and I have been trying to set a meeting up is just with your officials, and so that way we can talk about everything that we talked about today. So I just wanted to let you know, I think President, he has been pushing for a date, and we've just been trying to get a lot of this stuff together. Now that the club speed budget is approved, I think we will include them. I believe there's 5 of them, and we'll have a sound team now. So that's the only report that I do have on my end.
아쉽거든. Rob, Lawrence, you have a report on school? Come on down, Lawrence.
Really quick, too, I just wanted to let you know, Mr. Shinali had reached out to you last week during the planning meeting, and everything that you're doing is right. I think there was a directive that we need to send over to the other family. Once we get that, I know Sherilyn had provided us more information. Then we haven't met with BIA yet. That's the thing. So I think that's where we'll set up a meeting and make sure that they're able to hear the concerns. But everything that you're doing, that you're going the right way, going through the courts, calling the police, and all that stuff. So from what I know in the past, community members are only given 1 acre of land, and they can't go more than an acre. So if anything, they're going over an acre. So I'm sorry, Mr. Patero.
Thank you very much. And thank you for all of the people that are still here. I know it's hot here, and I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can. Reporting on behalf of the school board and school administration down here. So far on 25-26 school year, for the past school year, we had a total of 245 students for the year. And I can't emphasize how much we need the students enrolled here. And the reason for that is because of funding. You need to understand how the funding goes. They give us funding from 3 years back. So 3 years ago, the number of kids that were enrolled at that time times the number of ISEP monies they give per child is what they give us for the next upcoming school year. So this upcoming school year, 2026, 2027, way back in 3 years ago in 2023, that's the number they used to give us funding for this upcoming year. So I can't emphasize how important it is for the students to attend our school year. It affects the funding. So we need that funding here for the students. We have this upcoming school year, the registration is already in progress. Please stop by the school if you want to register your child to complete the registration packet for each of the students. There'll be an early registration drawing will take place July 16th. I guess that's going to be coming up. That'll be at 1 p.m. First day of school for the upcoming year is going to be August the 5th. On that particular day, the students will be dismissed at 1:30 p.m. Come and join everybody for a back to school event Monday, July 13th from 1 to 6 p.m. I want to say a little bit on Cognia. That's the new system that we're using. Strategic thinking and planning. We focus on 4 themes: teaching and learning, student readiness, culture, health and well-being. Cognia strategic thinking and planning. We have new vision statements that are going to be posted out. The statement this time around: together we will achieve excellence, inspire one another, lead with purpose, and thrive in unity for a bright future. We have a new mission statement: warriors who honor Dene teachings and lead with knowledge and courage. Warriors, we achieve rising, responsible, intelligent, outstanding, respectful students. And then we have new belief statements. Number 1, we believe our language and culture grounds our identity and character beliefs to achieve. Every child is unique and needs a tailored approach to learning to reach their full potential. We believe students can and will succeed. We have a summer program in progress. The summer school extended school year programs ran from June the 2nd through the 25th, so it's almost over. They served 95 students. Summer school was 45, middle school was 17, high school recovery was 8, ESY was 25. The teachers we had on board for staffing, we had 9 teachers, 4 educational assistants, 2 custodial staff, 2 kitchen staff members, and 3 bus drivers. Some of the upcoming celebrations we have: June 25th will be tomorrow. They will attend a field trip to Cliffs Amusement Park to reward their excellent attendance, positive behavior, and commitment to summer learning. TCS reauthorization renewal. This is what the chapter passed a resolution for us. We went to Twin Arrows Resort, where the Navajo Nation Board of Education was holding their renewals for reauthorization. That was on June the 11th. Our community school was renewed for another 3 years to continuing our school and student growth. We want to thank the community for their support with the chapter resolution. We have some information on sports. We have an open gym. This will be from June 4th through the 30th, hours from 5 to 7 p.m. Any proceeds from these gym use will go to the athletic department. basketball clinic for students ages 5 through 17 at the TCS gym on June 29th through the 30th. All physicals must be complete before the first day of practice. The gym will be closed in July for floor maintenance. And that's all I have for the school report. Thank you.
How are you guys, the status of your staff? Are you all ready or hired all your staff and everything? Or is there any vacancies that you have or what?
I don't have the exact number of the vacancies. There are some vacancies that are there and they've been posted already. But we do have enough staff on board already that have been renewed and are moving forward.
Also, my question, what is the situation on the new school? When are they going to start building or all that?
Okay. I've made this presentation at several chapter meetings. And
Yeah, but is there any progress?
the progress is we're waiting right now on the design of the school. We have been given a couple of preliminary designs for the school, but a decision has to be made on the design first before we move into getting a contractor in to actually get out there and start building. So I would say it's going to be at least another year or a year and a half.
Okay, thank you.
How would the test results identify when we do a food that's how would the school, my understanding is that it doesn't matter what kind of grant you get.
As far as our test results are concerned, we have met the school standards for all test results, otherwise we would not have been given an additional 3 years reauthorization. As far as the school is concerned, I don't know anything about working with Upson at all. I have no answers for you. Thank you.
John die Physik hier, hat insgesamt 30 Tage oder G, und prayers for the Nahabe Chona, who can say prayer for us as baby. Loretta, you want to say a prayer for us? Okay, I'll say the prayer.
She already did for us, we look at the parents,
You are dismissed. Thank you for coming. Make sure you come on the